and welcome to the third episode of the season for the Butler Collegian DAWGCAST. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. My name is Kayla Campbell, Butler Collegian's multimedia reporter and host of DAWGCAST. We have lots of news and exciting segments coming up for you guys this episode. Today we have our sports reports, club chats, this month with President Danko, and so much more. All here with the Butler Collegian. For our first segment, This Month with President Danko, multimedia editor Piper Bailey met with President Danko to discuss two new programs coming to Butler next fall.
Thank you, Kayla, and welcome back to This Month with President Danko, a segment on our DAWGCAST where we learn more about upcoming changes to the university and plans for their implementation. I sat down with President Danko to follow up after his State of the University address to find out more information about Butler's new Founders College and nursing program. The Founders College was announced in November last year and is set to welcome its first class in August of 2025. President Danko shares where the idea of more affordable education came from.
This is an output of our 2019 strategic plan, where we talked about the importance of opening Butler to more learners beyond the traditional undergraduate. One area that we are particularly interested in is to try to provide education to students that would typically not be able to afford a Butler education, which was quite consistent with our founding mission.
The College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences' new nursing program will also make its debut next fall. President Danko explains the development of the nursing program.
There is an accreditation process. To offer a nursing program, you have to have a state of Indiana accreditation. When they came to Butler, they looked at length of program, different things that you're focused on. We've got a long history of very, very successful and effective programs coming out of pharmacy and health sciences. We also, by the state, they approved for us to have 48 students, which is the maximum that they would approve, and they were encouraging us to admit more.
For more information, check out the Butler Collegian online. And for the Butler Collegian, I'm multimedia editor Piper Bailey. Back to you, Kayla.
Thanks, Piper, for the update on the new Founders College and nursing programs coming to Butler. And again, you can learn more about these programs on the Butler Collegian's website. Athletics are in full swing here at Butler. And to give us the latest update in sports, it's multimedia reporter Aaron Rhodes. It's the Butler Collegian Sports Report. Sending it to you, Aaron.
Welcome back to the Butler Collegian Sports Report. I am multimedia reporter Aaron Rhodes. Let's get into this week's report. The men's basketball team started their season this past week. They opened the season last Monday at home against Missouri State. After a sloppy two halves of basketball, the Dogs were able to come out on top with a score of 72-65. Then on Friday night, the Bulldogs took on Austin Peay. The Dogs never seemed to gain any sense of momentum and would even out their record as they would drop to 1-1, losing the game with a score of 68-66. The women's basketball team opened their season this past Wednesday. The ladies took on Chicago State at Hinkle Fieldhouse. The Bulldogs would be led in scoring by senior Kylan McGuff, who dropped 17 points. The Dogs would win with a score of 87-45. On Saturday, the ladies would travel to Milwaukee to take on the University of Milwaukee. The Dogs would end up improving to 2-0 as they would win 79-70. The Bulldogs football team traveled to Valparaiso this Saturday to take on the Crusaders in the battle for the Hoosier helmet. The Dogs would be led in passing by quarterback Reagan Andrew with 223 passing yards. On the ground, backup quarterback Nick Howard would run for 51 yards as he led the team in rushing yards on the day. The Bulldogs would ultimately keep the Hoosier helmet at home in Indy as they would beat Valpo 24-17. For women's volleyball, they fell to 6-20 on the season this past Friday. The team traveled to Omaha, Nebraska to take on the Creighton Blue Jays in a conference matchup. The Dogs would lose 3-0. Elise Ward led the Bulldogs in kills with 7, and Lauren Evans led in aces with 2. The Bulldogs women's soccer season would come to an end on November 3rd. The Dogs took on DePaul in the conference quarterfinal matchup of the Big East tournament. The Bulldogs would force overtime with the score being 3-3 at the end of regulation. The Dogs would sadly lose in 8 rounds of a penalty shootout. This has been the Butler Collegian Sports Report. I'm multimedia reporter Aaron Rhodes. Go Dogs.
Thank you, Aaron. And to stay up to date with Butler athletics, you can check out the Butler Collegian Sports section. On Monday, Blues Closet, the student-run thrift store, held their second pop-up in Dugan Hall. Students were able to shop from affordable, gently used casual and professional wear, which was donated through clothing drives. In September, Blues Closet held their pilot pop-up, which surpassed their goal of $1,100 for the entire semester, making a revenue of around $1,300 from just the first pop-up alone. Co-manager Giselle Varr says there were some changes made from the pilot.
For the first pop-up, it was our pilot. You know, we didn't have any student feedback. We didn't really know exactly what people were expecting, only what we had to give them. This time, you know, we did a survey after the last pop-up, so we tried to implement a few of the things that we learned, and we changed some things with the layout of the store.
One of these changes included the addition of 2 student vendors. These students run their thrift businesses both on campus and beyond, and were able to sell their clothing for their own prices. Monday's pop-up will be the last pop-up of the semester due to the busyness that comes with the end of the semester. But co-manager Leah Goss talks about the future of Blues Closet.
Right now we're trying out our student vendors. We hope to continue that in the future. I'm pretty sure this will be the last pop-up from this year, just with finals and everything in December. It's probably not great timing. We're hoping to have a couple next semester, and then eventually in the future it be a permanent space and completely student run. So we're really looking forward to seeing what happens.
To stay up to date with Blues Closet, you can follow them on Instagram at bluescloset.bu. Whether you are a patron of the arts, a hopeful writer, or you just need a Butler cultural requirement credit, Butler has you covered. In this next segment, multimedia reporter Eliza West shares the top 3 things to do at Butler in the next few weeks.
Thanks, Kayla. Despite Thanksgiving break quickly approaching, there are still many events going on around campus this weekend and into next week. Here are 3 events that you should keep your eyes on. From Thursday, November 14th through Sunday, November 17th, Butler Theater is putting on its production of She Kills Monsters. The play follows Agnes as she navigates the world after the death of her sister. The play will have a 7 o'clock showing on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and 1:30 showing on Sunday, all in the Schrott Center for the Arts. If you need to fill any BCR credits, you can do it with this play. Tickets are available at butlerartscenter.org for $10. Heading over to South Campus for the second event, Call Me Dawes is coming for the Visiting Writer Series. This event is in the Shelton Auditorium on November 19th at 7:30. Dawes is the author of poetry books and other books of fiction, criticism, and essays. Admission is free and it doubles as a BCR credit. If you haven't left for Thanksgiving break yet, stop by the Schrott Center for the Arts on Saturday, November 23rd at 7 p.m. for the Indianapolis Chamber Orchestra's performance of Autumn Sketches. The performance includes pieces from Vaughan Williams, Mozart, and Strotkin. Email the ticket office at info@iconmusic.org to claim your free ticket. This has been 3 things that you should keep your eyes on in the next few weeks. For the Butler Collegian, I'm Eliza West.
Thanks, Eliza, for keeping us up to date with things to do here on campus. Up next, we have Culture Corner with Assistant Culture Editor Maddie Broderick. For this segment, Maddie will be highlighting the Toronto-based songwriter turned internationally recognized artist, Ali X. Take it away, Maddie.
Hi, my name is Maddie Broderick, and I'm the Assistant Culture Editor for the Butler Collegian. And this week on Culture Corner, we will be covering Culture Co-Editor Emma McLean's article. It is a Q&A with Ali X, a bold singer-songwriter who has worked with artists such as Charlie XCX and Troye Sivan. She is visiting Indy on her upcoming world tour and will be playing songs off of her newest album titled Girl with No Face. Emma talks to her about trusting your instincts and embracing the weird. You can read it online at thebutlercollegian.com.
Thanks, Maddie, and you can find out more about this story in the culture section at the Butler Collegian online. The Jordan College of the Arts is hosting many events this month. Most events are free and live streamed, and many offer students Butler cultural requirement credits. One of those events is the production of She Kills Monsters, as Eliza mentioned earlier, but there are 7 more events to finish off the rest of the month, and they're all free. One of them being a JCA signature series lecture from the writer of She Kills Monsters, Qui Gwen. Other highlights include Music at Butler, which will feature saxophonist Cheryl Cassidy, student jazz singers in Jordan Jazz, and more. For more details on these events, visit the Butler Arts and Events Center website. Up next, we have Opinion of the Week with Opinion Editor Maddie Wood and Assistant Opinion Editor Anna Gritzenbach. For this segment, they will be highlighting Culture Co-Editor Emma McLean's article on coping with the election results. Take it away, guys.
Hi, I'm Maddie Wood.
And I'm Anna Gritzenbach.
And welcome to Opinion of the Week.
We're highlighting an upcoming opinion story that will be published in the Butler Collegian.
This week's opinion is Students' Reactions to the Election Results by Culture Co-Editor Emma McLean.
McLean describes how students on our campus have felt about the results of the election for the 47th president. Over the last week, there has been a lot of anxiety about these results and what the next 4 years are going to look like, especially as college students. Soon to enter the real world, students have a lot of mixed feelings as we head out of school for the first time and begin our adult lives.
I think that we are all feeling a sense of unease and uncertainty in the world, election-related or not. We won't know what's going to happen for sure. All we know is that we can rely on the people around us to find comfort and love. McLean highlights how we can take time to grieve and feel what we need to feel, but then get back up and be just as strong as before.
To hear more from McLean on reactions to the election results, be sure to pick up a copy of the paper tomorrow at your local Collegian stand or check it out on the ButlerCollegian.com.
Thanks for joining the opinion section for this DAWGCAST episode. I'm Maddie Wood.
And I'm Anna Gritzenbach.
Back to you, Kayla.
Thank you, Maddie and Anna, and you can find more on this story in the opinion section at the Butler Collegian online. Well, that concludes this third episode of DAWGCAST. Thank you so much for listening or watching. Again, you can find this series on YouTube and Spotify currently. Also, check out the Butler Collegian in print this week for all things news, sports, culture, and opinion. This has been your host, multimedia reporter Kayla Campbell. I'll see you next time.